guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at Subaru of Port Richey, also known as Loki Subaru, and guess what? We have it. This is the 2020 Subaru Legacy, but not just any Legacy. This one is a limited XT trim. So let's talk a little bit about the Legacy. The Legacy has been in Subaru's lineup since 1990 here in the United States, if you could believe that. It was that mid-size sedan, all-wheel drive. Over the years, it's changed, but one thing that is definitely the big hit for 2020 is turbocharged power. Underneath that hood, we see, and since it's an XT, the return of a turbocharged engine for the Subaru Legacy, still with that wonderful all-wheel drive. Another big change is the Legacy is on Subaru's global architecture platform. What that means is it's gonna have a lower center of gravity and it's gonna be more rigid than the outgoing Subaru Legacy, plus some extra room. And wait until we get inside that roomy area, because you're gonna see some new technology that's gonna blow your mind, yes, in a Subaru Legacy. So let's go ahead, dive into this Subaru Legacy XT. Right off the bat, you'll see the change up. This is a redesign for 2020. They did the work with the headlight design, and I like the way with the Legacy, it kind of mimics what's going on with the Outback. You have a very unique design for the headlight housing. I do like the way that Subaru uses LED daytime running lamps that kind of wrap around the perimeter of the headlight housing. Gives it a brand identity almost as they're driving around. As we drop down, flat black, very nice touch, a little bit of shiny chrome and some fog lamps, no fake vents to zonk or anything like that. And I think it looks very sharp, especially with this black paint. Now, as we come across the front, you see that brand identifier grille. You go to look at an Outback, Ascent, whatever, it's that same general shape. I like the flat black vertical slots, little bit of chrome to tie in what's going on at each corner, and then of course that iconic Subaru logo. When we drop down, a little bit more flat black, and I think it's so smart that they kept consistent vertical long slots to just really make it a cohesive package. But really, from the front end of the business, they gave it some aggression, which I think the Legacy really needed. Now, when we go up onto the hood, there's some really great body lines. You have one that starts on each corner and then goes up onto the actual hood, and then you have two that are right there in that center portion. Really gives it some personality to help it stand out. Because remember, mid-size, we're going up against the Toyota Camry, the Honda Accord, the Mazda 6. This one, of course, though, that's going to separate them from all the rest is that all-wheel drive, that symmetrical all-wheel drive system. Now, when we come around the bend, we're going to see some new touches. You have this style wheel. It's going to be machined aluminum with the gloss black. This is an 18-inch wheel. It's a clean design. You know, I think with the Legacy overall, they went a little bit safe with overall design, and they definitely do that with the overall wheel as well. But I think with the black, it's really, really working. As we continue down the side, to mimic like the Outback, I like the way they have the silver chrome trim that kind of flows into the mirrors. Little tiny, slim, little bitty turn signal, LED turn signal, and then you're gonna have the chrome trim around both the top and the bottom. Keyless entry, push button start, little bit extension of a sill, and a very nice belt line here that kind of curves up near the back of the passenger door. I think that really gives it a nice touch. No quarter window, what to speak of, but I do like the way they brought the trim all the way into that rear pillar. And then as we come out to the rear of this Subaru Legacy XT, very clean, very straightforward. You're gonna have your LED brake lights, and I like the way it almost follows the shape of the daytime running lamps up front. Of course, you're gonna have that symmetrical all-wheel drive, full all-wheel drive system, and then check it out. 1, 2, buckle your shoe. You got 2 exhaust tips that are functional, and a very niceful, tasteful, niceful. I don't know if that's, I just created a word here on Rady's Rides, but a very tasteful rear diffuser with that XT badge. When you see that, we're talking about turbocharged power. I think the one thing that I would zonk is that there's not a trunk lid spoiler on this one. Just a little kick up, I think would just kind of tie in the whole performance aspect. But let's go pop the hood and see what is performing for this XT. All right, guys, we got the hood popped on the Legacy. Still no hood strut on a Legacy, so I am gonna zonk that. What is cool is I love the way they design this reverse air scoop underneath the hood to then ram air onto that intercooler. And the reason why we have that intercooler is because guess what? That's a 2.4 liter turbocharged engine, flat 4. So that means that the engine The pistons are horizontal. They're slapping back and forth like punching gloves, hence the name Boxer engine. 260 horsepower, 277 pound-feet of torque. I guess the weak link in the armor is going to be that CVT transmission, which does have 8 synthetic gear shifts in it, simulated gear shifts, but 0 to 60 in about 6 seconds. That's 2.3 seconds faster than the outgoing Legacy. And then when you're looking at MPGs, still great MPGs, even with the all-wheel drive, 24 in the city, 32 in the highway, weighs around 3,790 pounds. And what's awesome about the global platform is that this is got the thumbs up, the green light for safety, all the way to 2023 regulations. So when the new regulations come out in 2023, this Legacy XT on that global platform is still ready to rock and roll. What I love about any of the Subaru engines is, first of all, because it is a flat 4, the engine sits low in the chassis, and as a car guy, I can see all the inner bits. I see the alternator, I see the AC compressor, I see the belt, the intake plenum. Not a lot of plastic, so good job by Subaru on that. But let's go ahead, fire up this Subaru Legacy XT and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside this 2020 Subaru Legacy XT. If you have not been in a Subaru period as of late, you need to get down to your local Subaru dealership, because I'm telling you, they are doing a bang-up job changing how people travel in their vehicles. Now, with this Legacy XT, it's an XT trim, so that's with the turbocharged engine, plus it's a limited. So MSRP-wise, you're getting all the bells and whistles. You're looking at $36,000. Main competitors, like I said, Camry, Accord, Mazda 6. Let's see what you're getting for the money. To the door panels, absolutely love what's going on. You got the light tan leather, love the stitch work, the silver gray material around the middle portion of the door really just breaks up with a lot of color, and I like that. You got a small pocket down there for a bottle or a cup. And then you do have a Harman Kardon sound system in this Legacy XT Limited. Now, as we go from the door panel to the dash, nice soft material. Look at this wood here, this wood trim, very nice finish. Really makes it feel upscale. You got a slot here for some Snickers, some peanut butter cups, Reese's peanut butter cups in there. But I love the wood and I love this leather material. Very, very nice. And then really here is the icing on the cake. This is really the thing that's blowing everybody away. That is an 11.6-inch infotainment system screen. Let me go ahead and hit OK. This one, of course, has navigation that's brought to you by TomTom. One thing that's really wild about this setup is you actually have 3 levels of functionality here. So you could go through your functionality up top. You have your navigation and whatnot in the center. And then down below, you're going to have your AC system, which you could get into your heated seats and all that good stuff. So very, very nicely done. Now, if you don't want to hit the screen to adjust the temperature, they do have temperature buttons nicely placed. And this little piece of plastic here is to protect this wonderful system until the new owner gets to take it to their forever home. Push button start, which is great to see. I like the way the silver trim here blends into what was on the door. A little bit of gloss black, some more of that silver. You have wireless charging, and what's nice is it's just a pocket here. You slide your phone in, 2 USBs and an aux jack, your electric e-brake, soft leather material, even leather on the boot here with the stitching, 2 cup holders. You're going to get your universal Subaru key fob. That's something that's in all the Subarus pretty much. If you're getting push button start, obviously if you're not, you're going to get a key instead of this. So soft. Open it up, you got a nice tray for your breath mints when you're about to kiss your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, your boyfriend, your dog. You lift this up, you got your 12 volt, a little bit of felt lining so you're not scratching up your gold iPhone 12. And then seats. I love the perforated center, the nice stitching, very, very soft. This is a really great material that they're using. Full electric adjustability for the passenger and the driver. This one, of course, is gonna have the sunroof, and it's been optioned with your frameless automatic dimming mirror. I'm 6 feet tall. I feel cool as a cucumber in here. Love the seats. I guess my one thing is, for this price point, where's my ventilated seats for $36,000? So that is gonna be a zonk for me. But why don't you get on over to the business side? I wanna show you behind the wheel of this brand new Legacy XT. All right, guys, here we are behind the wheel. There's more of that silver trim I was telling you about. And on the driver's side, you're gonna get 2 memory settings, which is a wonderful touch. And then these seats, very supportive. They even have some nice side bolstering, which is nice. A lot of times, some of these car manufacturers with their mid-size sedans, it's just a flat black back and then you're just like sliding all over the place. But I really like it. Steering wheel, great size. You got your buttons for heated steering wheel, your cruise control. You could do your lane keep assist and whatnot. Of course, with the Legacy, just like with the Outback and the Ascent, you're gonna get the updated, upgraded eyesight system. This is one of the best systems in the business for emergency braking and all that great stuff. Dash. I like the dash because guess what? It makes sense. It's straightforward, it's clean. You got an analog tach, analog speedometer, and then you're gonna have that information display in the center there, which is a nice touch as well. I think they did a great job on really just cleaning up the whole interior. Even look at how they brought the wood all the way from one side to the other to make it a cohesive package. Let's get to the back seat and see how your passengers are gonna be loving that all-wheel drive turbocharged power. All right, guys, backseat time. I'm liking what's back here. I'm actually loving what's back here. You have a lot of leg room, same great material. I think it's so smart the way Subaru wraps the back in a darker leather, because we all know your kids, your passengers have sticky fingers. They're eating Doritos, licking their fingers and then touching the seat. Nice pocket going on. You have one for both passengers, which is nice. Rear AC, heated seats, and then guess what? They got you covered. Not only one, but 2 USBs so that your passengers' electronic devices don't go dead and then make your life miserable as you're trying to get to your destination. But overall, the comfort. Now, the roof is a little close, maybe a little closer than say on a Camry, but still, I'm 6 feet tall and sitting upright. And then, of course, nicely padded armrests with the 2 cup holders. So I'm loving what Subaru did there. Let's get to the trunk and see how much space we have for this Legacy XT. All right, guys, the rear trunk area on the Subaru, real easy to open. You push the button and then you're gonna lift it up. There's no electric assist. Love the size. Very wide opening. It's actually tall as well, so you can get some taller objects in there. And then of course, you're just gonna pull on these very well engineered, well-placed handles to fold those seats down, do a 60-40 split. Even some side space, which is really great. I know some of you wanna see underneath. Underneath there, you have some compartments, you have your jack, and then if we continue to lift up, there's your spare under there. So yes, you do get a spare with your Legacy, and then you're gonna just put that right back. But if you're ready, I'm ready for the best part. Let's take this Legacy XT for a spin. All right, guys, we're leaving Subaru Port Richey. We're in the 2020 XT. Let me show you how we merge in this car on throttle. Very, very snappy. You can hear that emergency braking. What's interesting is that not only are you gonna get the emergency braking sound, but you're also gonna get a visual, which are LED lights. They almost look like shift lights that come from a heads-up display. So you get a visual and you get to hear the sound as well, which is really great. And like I mentioned earlier, having the upgraded eyesight system, it's well out of the way and it's not interfering whatsoever as you're looking out the front of the windshield. Back window's looking great. I also think it's super smart the way Subaru puts the blind spot monitoring on the inside edge of the actual housing for the mirrors instead of on the glass. It's very easy to see when they light up that bright yellow LED light. Really, really great. You can see that super infotainment system, nice size screen, really clear, really easy to use. Once you figure out these 3 levels, it's a piece of cake. Seats hold you just like your mom used to hold you when you're a kid. So they're very, very comfortable, yet you feel like you're in place very, very well. Mirror size is wonderful, and overall just super smooth. That's the thing. Now remember, you are gonna have, with the CVT, those simulated gears. There's 8 of them for 2020, just like on the Outback XT, which is really nice. The leather is so soft. This Napa leather is super soft. Even the wood trim, it's just enough to say, hey, I want to be classy, and I like it. Especially with the black exterior. It just brings everything together, all the pieces nicely together on this Subaru Legacy XT. All right, guys, I want to show you an acceleration test. I'm gonna left foot brake, dead stop with that turbocharged engine on throttle. You can still hear that constant RPM of the CVT. It's not as bad as some other cars that we've been in, but with the simulated gears, it definitely does help make it feel like you actually have a car with gears in the gearbox rather than those rubber bands, so to speak. But very, very smooth getting up to power and speed, and also not a lot of drama. Of course, with the all-wheel drive system, it's going to grip the road just like a panther with its claws in the ground. And steering feel is good in this car. Is it as good as the Honda Accord? I'm going to say no. But I do like it better than the Camry. So that is a big plus, I think, there for Subaru. But the cabin inside this Legacy is just amazing. On throttle, look at this. Very nice. Good brake feel. When you tip it in, it doesn't have a ton of body roll, which is wonderful, but it's not a stiff ride whatsoever. You know, it's like sometimes I feel like it's a compromise. Like if you want a comfortable ride, you're gonna have body roll all over the place. It's almost like you're gonna roll upside down in the car. But with this, you are getting a nice, happy medium of a combination of the two, which is great. And I think that just comes from Subaru's expertise in rally racing and everything else that they do. One thing I forgot to point out, but I point out in other Subaru Legacy videos, you do get the paddles behind the steering wheel to give you that ability to go through the simulated gears at your own will. But let's see how she handles. I'm gonna take this left hand, bend fast on the brakes. Not too bad, not too bad. Gets up and goes. That's for sure. You're not getting a bunch of front end push like you would in the Camry. With that all-wheel drive, it is really gripping the ground. Once again, on throttle. On the brakes. It's crazy. It actually has some rear end pivot to help you square off the corner. It's actually a very invigorating drive in this Legacy XT. It's not just the turbocharged fun, but also the way she handles is a ton of fun as well. Controls are easy to get to, and I'm telling you, this thing is so comfortable. And very smooth, very, very smooth. One thing that I am detecting is a little bit of wind noise, which is surprising. A little too much for my taste, but you know, that could be something that maybe just this particular model has some weather stripping that wasn't put in place 100%. But other than that, it feels really, really good to be in this 2020 Legacy. But hopefully this gave you a nice overall feel of what this car is about. They definitely have upped the game for sure with this car, and it makes it really a viable option when looking at your Camry and your Accord. But back on throttle one more time, feels good. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, get back to Subaru Port Richey, so I will see you in a split second. All right, guys, it's been a fun time with this 2020 Subaru Legacy XT. Got to thank Spencer, Larry, and the rest of the crew here at Subaru Port Richey. Is this a competitor to the Camry and the Accord? I would say heck yes. If you want to have a car that is tried and true when it comes to their all-wheel drive system, their excellent safety features, including that eyesight, there's really no better way to go than a Legacy, especially the XT with that turbocharged fun. But if these are the types of cars that you want to keep seeing on Rady's Rise, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rise family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rise merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Motioner working the camera, getting ready for his next powerlifting competition. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.